Alice relished the predictability of their wombat existence, but Lola was always on the lookout for someone to talk to, and if she found someone, be it a bird or a mouse, she talked. At length. Maybe that was why Lola's parents looked more haggard than other wombat parents, and why her father's stomach was prone to episodes of upset. Parsley, known for its stomach-settling qualities, was his herb of choice. "What's that?" Lola dropped her pawful of moss, scrambled atop the log, and peered down at the stream. First came the squelch of steps along the muddy bank. Then she caught sight of a dark shape that was clearly wombatish in nature. "Hello!" Lola called. Arthur gasped. "Lola, no, not again." "It's our neighbour, Mr. Squat. I'm being friendly. Don't you want me to be friendly? Hello? Hello?" Lola stretched her short arm as far as she could in a wave, hoping to get the old wombat's attention. It worked. He stopped in his tracks, then glanced up at the log through his thick spectacles. "Mr. Squat, it's me, Lola Budge. Are you having a nice night of foraging? Did you find some watercress?" Mr. Squat grumbled something under his breath and turned around so his prodigious rump blocked Lola's view. Then he began digging in the stream bed for roots. Maybe he didn't hear me. Lola took a deep breath, cupped her paws around her mouth, and bellowed, "Mr. Squat!" His fur bristled, and his ears scrunched up in sudden displeasure. "Oh, hooly-dooly." Alice hurried to Lola's side and clamped a paw over Lola's mouth, her own ears partially clamped shut as well. "Please stop hollering. You'll wake the daytimers." Lola squirmed free. "But, Mum," she pleaded, "I'm just trying to be neighbourly." Alice shook her head in a worried way, which she tended to do around her only Joey. "Sweetie, how many times must I remind you that talking to our neighbour without invitation is bad manners?" "Yes, I know," Lola grumbled. "I'm disturbing his peace and quiet." "Why isn't she shy like the rest of us?" Arthur asked his wife. "Because she isn't," was Alice's answer, the same answer she gave each time he asked that question. Lola chewed another mouthful of moss, her gaze fixed on Mr. Squat, who shone silver in the moonlight. As he sat, feasting upon a root he'd pulled from the mud, Lola's mind filled with questions. How old was he? Could he see without his spectacles? Did he like carving spoons and bowls? She certainly didn't. As Lola flicked a piece of moss from her white whiskers, Mr. Squat stopped eating, turned around quickly, and faced the stream. He adjusted his spectacles. He shook his head. He shrugged. He shook his head again. Lola took a quick breath. Wait, what was happening? Was something happening? She scrambled along the log, trying to get a better view. Mr. Squat was clearly looking at something in the distance. He shrugged again. Lola could barely contain her excitement. She reached the end of the log and stood on the tips of her toes, her long claws prickling the bark. Why was he shrugging? Was he talking to someone? Yes, he was talking to someone. But Mr. Squat never talked to anyone. She'd never heard his voice. But then he turned abruptly, abandoned the route, and hurried up the trail that led back to the burrows. She wanted to call after him, but wrinkled her nose, remembering her mother's words. Bad manners? Lola narrowed her eyes. No one else thought it was bad manners to say goodbye. Why did wombats have to be so antisocial? The only time the community got together was on Queen Myra's birthday, to feast and sing songs in her honour. Though Lola had never met the Queen, she'd been raised to love and admire her.